Hello everyone, this is Sybil. Welcome to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. We've had some crazy weather, so I hope if any of you watching were in the line of the severe thunderstorms and tornadoes that you all are safe today. We were under a tornado watch last night, had some really bad thunderstorms, but I really thank the Lord that we did not have any tornadoes in my local area. They did break out in the other part of Missouri, but not where I live, and I'm thankful for that. Woke up to it snowing this morning. Talk about crazy. Yeah. And then tomorrow our temps are going to go up, the sun's going to come out. And that's just how it is living here in Southwest Missouri. But winter has to loosen its grip. Spring is on the way. And even though, my allergies detest spring, I love the warmth of the sun and the birds and the flowers and the trees blooming, everything budding and blooming. I just love it. All right, so I have been creating some cards and I want to share those with you. I've also been playing with my stencils and my inks and embossing paste, so I want to share that with you as well. I've created some fun backgrounds for cards. So the first three cards that I'm going to share with you, I have two here. There's been no stamping and no coloring. So on these two cards, these little houses are Spellbinder die cuts, and I believe I destashed that die set from Spellbinders. But before I did, this was several months ago, I used the dies, cut out several of the houses, and then I think I used either colored paper or oxide inks on them, and then I just put them away to bring them out sometime when I felt like, using them. So here are the two little houses. They are both popped up. So the cards are very similar. I used a floral background on both of them, just papers from my 6x6 paper pads. And I used stickers and chipboard elements from my stash. So we'll start with this little one. I love this little card. I used to make cards like this all the time where I just took elements, chipboard, stickers, and just different things and created fun cards with them. And I love doing that. So I'm really tickled with how these turned out. I love this pretty floral paper, and I added some little pretty gems on several of the flowers, and I did that for both of the cards. And those are little honeybee stamps, gem rhinestones that I added. And here's the house. I added a puffy little heart, and on both of the houses where the door is at, there is a door back there. See, you can see the red little door. I added a tiny little doily, and then I added a flower on top of that because everything is blooming because it's spring. Added a little banner here. I think that is from Maggie Holmes' Bloom. And then I added a little journaling note here. It says remember. I added some little lace to it, dainty little white lace. And then here is a chipboard bird. I added a gold ticket, sorry. And I'm trying not to hold the card up to where the light would really glare off the gold. And then I popped up this chipboard piece on some foam adhesive, and it says the whole world is a garden. And then on the inside, got sticker residue on my hand. There's no inking in here, that way I can just write a note. But I took some of the same paper. I did this for both of the cards and just used a real pretty lacy punch and just added a strip of that paper for a border on the side of the card. So there's the first card. And then the second card, pretty much the same. I did not have another little banner, so I just fussy cut some paper that matched this background paper and put it there. Again, there's a little puffy heart on the house. There's a little doily there. And then the flower on top. And then this little journaling spot, I added a gold frame around it and a butterfly. And then I had this gold tag. I popped it up and then put a sticker on it, and it says enjoy your life. And then you see the little rhinestones, gemstones here and there. And then there's the lacy cutout punch. And then I put that on a polka dot card base. And then this little one was fun to make as well. Again, no stamping, you know, just stickers and embellishments from my stash. So I took a gray card base and I added some faux stitching with a white jelly roll pen. And then I cut out this beautiful paper here. They're all floral themed, and added some background paper behind this center cut. And it has little, I used some punches, so it's got some little, you know, pretty details there. I added a butterfly here. And behind this sticker of these flowers, I added a vellum flower back there. And then I popped these up on some foam adhesive. I put a little gingham center on the flower and added a heart. And then there's a little Maggie Holmes deer, added a little bow and a little, what are those called? Enamel dots on the center of the bow. And it says so sweet. And then on the inside there, I did the same thing, just used a punch with that paper to create a pretty little border. And then this says just a little note. And then I have a little, I fussy cut a little envelope, put it there and added a heart. Now this I've had in my stash for a long time. I've, you know, just inked that, added that stamp, just a little note, and then inked around the edges. And I've had it probably, you know, in my, I keep a bunch of die cuts ready for cards in these little containers. And I've had this probably for a year or two. So I just put it on there. So there are those 3 cards. And then my next card I want to share with you. I just shared this stamp set in a haul. Actually, I used all three different things from Simon Says Stamp. I cannot talk for some reason. I don't know what it is. But this beautiful stamp set called Thankful Flowers. On the inside of my card, I used this stamp, and it says, "You help me be a better version of myself. I'm so grateful for your friendship, advice, and unconditional love." So that's on the inside of my card. And then I used this die. I love it. So you've got this, you know, you got the word beautiful and then the outline. And then I used this stencil, Spring Boho Circle. It is beautiful. And I used my snowflake paste from Prima, and it has sparkle on it. But after I put the embossing paste on it, then I inked up the background with forest moss, not mossed. I cannot talk. I don't know. Anyway, and a couple other inks. So here is my card. I just love it. And I did take some diamond stickles or snowflake stickles and just put it on a few of the little centers. But this is so, so pretty. I just love these colors here. And what it did, after I inked everything up, the embossed part almost looks like flocking. You know, remember we used to use flocking on through our stencils, or I don't know, maybe you guys haven't, but I used to have a whole bunch of that flocking stuff from Stampin' Up, and I loved that. I would use it on like little bunny tails, you know, stamp up little bunnies and then put the flocking powder on their tail, and I just loved that look. So be your own kind of beautiful. And this sentiment is from an Altenew stamp set that I did not bring over here. So I embossed that and popped that up on some foam adhesive, and then I used vellum for the background, the outline of the word beautiful, and I cut out the word beautiful twice, glued them together, and then that's the card. And then there's that sentiment. So I love how that came out, and I popped up this stencil part of the card. I popped that up on foam adhesive. So I love that. I love how that turned out. It's something different. It's not something I usually, I don't usually create cards like that. So I like how that turned out. And I want to share with you really quick a couple of backgrounds that I made. Now this one, again, I used the snowflake paste. I did it on all three of these backgrounds that I'm going to show you. I used this Newton's Nook stencil. It's called Perfect Stencil. I love the music notes there. And I did it on craft cardstock. And there it is. And then I took some ink and just used a brush. Just, I think it was brown oxide ink. And just went over it. I might have been what is it called? The corduroy color. And I love how that turned out. And again, it made the music notes feel like it's got flocking on it. So, yep, I will use that on a card or, maybe in one of my scrapbooks or something. But this one I want to show you. I should fold it like this. So what I did was I used this beautiful stencil. I think it's from MFT. And I used my Distress Oxide inks with the blender brush. This is how I did it. I started with the pink, went with the orange, yellow, the rainbow colors. And when I pulled the stencil up, I had it taped down. When I pulled it up, there was ink all over it, So I thought, I wonder. So I turned it over where that inky side was, and I put it down, and then I put the embossing paste all over it. And when I pulled it up, look at that. Isn't that so cool? And it's really sparkly, but I don't know if my camera will pick up on the sparkle. But it's the same thing. It's just really muted. So I love it. I had fun playing with this. This was such fun. So that made me want to do that with other stencils. So now I've got a few backgrounds for cards or to put in scrapbook layouts. This would be a pretty frame for a picture inside. So anyway, I love the rainbow, God's promise, right? Amen. All right, thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed my video. If so, I would really appreciate if you would give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think about these backgrounds or my cards or both. I love reading your comments. Again, I appreciate you taking the time to watch. Have a blessed day, and I should be back this Saturday and participate in Jill Norwood's Saturday Morning Makes. Talk to you later. Bye.